Hey family, welcome to How Love Works, where we talk about the principles for lasting love. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you young ladies out there and to some of you young men who've had the grace and the privilege to go out and show your love to your significant other. Well, I got a little stack of information that I want to talk about today, since we're still dealing with married at first sight. All right. Now, everybody's come back home. Everybody's coming back home. Everyone's going through each other's old digs, each other's apartment. And so they get a little tour of each other's lifestyle prior to marriage. And that's pretty curious and interesting, all that being the same. But let me say this. I decided to go ahead on and give a title to this, and the title that I decided to give was marriage, or no, I'm sorry. First comes marriage. I want to talk about it from that perspective. First comes marriage. Hopefully, I'll be able to deliver on that title as we go forward and we discuss this. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to talk about Austin and Jessica. Austin and Jessica, the awesome awkwards, the awesome awkwards, as I like to call them. I noticed that when Jessica and Austin, I think when they got over to Austin's uh, apartment, and they got a chance to, Jessica got a chance to peek, get a little peek behind the curtain and see how her husband used to live his life. She saw the way he lived his bachelor existence, and of course she was critiquing everything. I guess that's what she believes she needs to do. But I found it interesting that he found her critiquing to be very irritating, to say the least. And I saw just a crack. Not that I'm looking for anything in particular to point at these two individuals, because I actually like them, and I am very hopeful that they're going to stick it out. But I could tell her needling, in a sense, um, the way he was receiving it. He wasn't receiving it very well. I think the funniest thing to me is when she went into his bedroom and saw that he was sleeping under a quilt or a blanket without a sheet, and he didn't think anything of that. But she asked a good question. It was on me. How many times you washed this quilt? These young boys don't think about stuff like that. They don't care about stuff like that. He's a mama's boy. They don't think like that. You know, Mama did all the washing. Mama took care of washing his underwears. Mama did everything. So he don't know anything about that kind of utility. That's not in his DNA. All right. So that's a little bit of it, upset him a little bit. So uh, I think that the other thing that I noticed is that when they had a chance to talk to Pastor Robinson, and they had a real discussion about finances, and he wasn't making not even nearly close to what she was making as a managing registered nurse. But I would think not too many men would, considering the fact she's in D.C., very expensive place. She's probably knocking down 100,000 or close to it as a managing nurse, RN. Come on now. And so that puts her up there at that alpha female level. And she's messing with a little young pup. I think he's just I think he's some sort of computer guy, and he's probably doing 40, maybe. She's probably making double what he makes. And so she's not satisfied with that. I think they're going to need to talk about that a little bit more and see if they can uh, reach a consensus about what he should be making. All right, let's go directly to Derek and Katie. Now, Derek and Katie was, they were cute in the beginning and they were all caught up in the infatuation and all of the sexual attraction, the typical young kid stuff. And we knew that was going to wear off once they got back to the real world. One thing about the real world, it has a way of throwing cold water on your fantasies. It has a way to do it. I'm not trying to laugh at these people, but it is so funny how they live in fantasy world so much when they talk about relationships. It's no wonder none of their relationships work because they don't have a realistic view of what it takes to be in love and to be married and to stick it out for year after years. It's not easy as it looks. I mean, as you get older, it gets easier if you're equipped with what you need in order to get it done and to really invest and to contribute. But if you're just in for the ride and you're just doing it because you're compelled to get married, that ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay, Derek and Katie, when she went through his apartment, she wasn't as necessarily critical or anything. Katie was just curious, and so she was just checking everything out. She liked his roommate's dog and everything. I think she wanted to take the dog with her, and she saw the fake guns look real when I first saw it. I guess it would look real to somebody coming in the house as well. And but I think that the big bombshell for me at least was after Pastor Robinson asked them about their intimacy level. I think that when Derek said that he felt that they were still in the friend zone, I saw her expression and it was not good, to say the least. And so I think it gave her permission to go to where she most likely, I don't think, was going to go. But when he kind of said, hey, I'm not really in love with her, and he continues to kind of holds on to this idea, this romantic notion that, of course, as I said before, romantic love is filled with passion, is intimacy. It's filled, it's like a boiling pot about to overflow, and it's supposed to be some kind of magical love it's only one person and a soulmate, and love conquers all, and it's a feeling, and love happens by accident, and all these beliefs that people have about love. And none of that's true. It's just urban myth. It's just, love at first sight. I can say infatuation at first sight. It's typically not love at first sight because most of these people don't kick into the commitment. They don't kick into the devotion that's required. These are signs of love: commitment, devotion, dedication, determination. When you don't see those things, those are the clues that love leaves behind. Not the talk, all the talk, the love talk. But when life happens, where's the love? It's gone. Right? So then Katie turns around and starts talking about her ex showing up, talking about he still has feelings, he actually loves her. And so she's now having some residual feelings that she has to deal with as a result of her contact with her ex. And so, of course, that set in motion Derek's feelings. And so she was, in a sense, saying, okay, well, since you are not, I'm not hearing really what I want to hear, you're not going to hear what you think you need to hear. You didn't know anything about this boyfriend. Oh, now he's feeling a little, okay, there's a little competition here. And I'm not liking it because I'm your husband. I said, well, you need to be doing things and about, let's get this intimacy level where it needs to be. You talking about some 6 months to a year, you might be in love. What does that mean? I mean, I'm telling you, I'm talking about some crazy stuff here. All right. Now, Mike and Mika. Mika, when she gets to my man's apartment, Mika's apartment was pretty clean. All things being equal, it was pretty organized, everything. But, he was going through her drawers. I think he was enjoying himself, and then they get to his apartment and she, people, I guess, thinking that, I think she's thinking that the apartment is kind of out of order, I guess, compared to her apartment. It might be. Didn't look that bad to me. That's, I guess it's a matter of opinion. But anyway, it appeared to me that I might be wrong about Mike. I thought I had a little bit more animosity toward him because of the way it started out at the honeymoon and how insensitive he was. And I still hold that view that he was insensitive. But now, after viewing the video, I kind of got a different take on that guy. I think my take with him now is that out of all the guys, all of them, I think he's the only one, until somebody showed me different, I think he's the only one that really wants his relationship to work. Now, I'm only going by so far his vulnerability. Now, he could be a great actor. He could be acting. I don't know. But based on what I'm seeing with that brother, he broke down and said, I'm a failure. I feel like I'm a failure. I said, now, that sounds to me like a brother that really wants to try to make his relationship work. He's trying to be the man that he has in his mind. He's trying to create a legacy. He wants to have a family and an adopted child and have a real, he's got a vision in his mind. The problem is the brother doesn't know how to cultivate it. He doesn't know how to bring it to fruition. That's the problem. Maybe off camera, he might be able to work something out with the pastor, or the pastor can put him into contact with a married man. Somebody like, if it would have been me, somebody like me. Somebody can walk him through it step by step. Somebody can give him some basic information, because that's what I got when I first got married. I had a mentor. That's real talk. I'm not making it up. My wife and I had a couple that mentored us for about a year. We would go over, hang out, do stuff with them, and I would listen to him. He was about 62, 63. I was in my 20s, 21, 22. But, I respected my seniors, and I had a high regard for him. And when I would be doing or saying or acting silly toward my wife, he would check me. He would tell me that's not the way to be. And I was listening to him because that's what I wanted to be. I wanted my marriage to emulate his, and how he respected his wife. And I said, I can get to this point. He taught me about money. He taught me about all kinds of stuff. I couldn't go to my dad. My dad was out there. And so I wasn't going to play that game. I didn't want to be that guy, because I already see the end result of being that player thing. I never got that anyway. Never made sense to me. Anyway, that guy, I'm gonna keep my eye on Mike and Mika, because Mika she kind of softened up when she saw how he was really being vulnerable, and I just hope that I'm right about this. I mean, I think they still gonna run into some issues because they just getting back, so we gonna see. Mika's got a little, she got a little alpha in her. She a little masculine, and she want to run things. I'm not saying that he should run things. I'm just saying, marriage comes first. What I mean by that is the commitment, the dedication, the devotion. We need to be committed to the relationship, committed to the development of that relationship, not just my way or the highway. Do it my way, or we're not gonna do it at all. None of that. We are one. It's not just individuals anymore. All right. Now, last but not least, no, Brandon and Zach. Okay, I'm gonna zip through these guys. Okay, Brandon and Taylor. We already know he did the meltdown. 3 of them, and they all progressively got worse. The last one and the worst one when he got on the bus, we all know that. Cussed everybody out, cussed Taylor out, everybody. If you ask me why he went from 0 to 60, can't tell you. Can't tell you. All right. But he did. And it ultimately led to, when he got home to DC, he went to his own apartment, stayed there all day. Then he went to the place they had set up for him, and he went back late. I guess he probably took half the day, middle of the day, and went back. I'm not sure about that. But he comes in there with, what I call a little, wink, wristed apology, some flowers, whatever. I say I can call you out your name, call complete strangers out their name. I'm all upset. I didn't know the dude was that cray-cray, because that's cray-cray behavior. That's just straight crazy. But I'm gonna leave that guy alone, because I don't know about that guy. To be that volatile, and to be that disagreeable, and to be the kind of guy that can get that cold and callous, and then the next day lovey-dovey. No. Like I said before, I'm a father of 2 adult daughters, and let me see how many granddaughters I have now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 5 granddaughters, right? All under the age, I believe, of 13, if I'm not mistaken. Cadence is the oldest. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't have no tolerance for stupid. I don't. Okay? You're not calling any of my granddaughters, my wife, my own daughters, you're not calling them no names of any kind. Especially you're not cursing them. That's just not going to happen. You only get to do it once. And after that, I'm going to show you the door, my brother. And you will never darken my door again after that. Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to wrap it up with Zach and Mindy. Because I really don't see, at this point with Brandon, I really don't see anything happening with that relationship. Even if they say they're going to stay together, they're not going to stay together, because Brandon is cray-cray. All right. Zach and Mindy. Now, this brother is still talking about that he's not attracted And I personally believe he's using his lack of attraction as a way to create emotional distance with Mindy. I personally find that kind of behavior reprehensible, to be honest. And I think it's even more reprehensible because at the same time, he's selfishly trying to, derive some support for his I guess his woke idea of being himself. I got to be true to me. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But see, what gets me is when I see all of that, I between Brandon and Zach, I got three takeaways that I took from that. The first one was um, both of those brothers lack responsibility. They're not willing to take real responsibility. They knew what they were getting into, and now they want to squirm. They want to come out. See, the problem I have with Zach is that he's doing a little blame shifting. What he's doing, he's actually blaming her. He's blaming Mindy. You know, he's blaming her because she's not emotionally enough for him. And he also literally blames her for his disappointment, the fact that he's not attracted, even if that's true. I don't know. But I personally believe that he don't even like her. Because that's one thing I've always told people. I love my wife. I do. I love everything about her. But there's one thing that people are always shocked to hear me say when I say this about my wife. And for some of you guys that might not want to hear about me and my wife, that's fine. You can cut video off if you want to. But I can't talk about your girlfriend or some other woman. So I'm talking about my wife. I actually like my wife. I actually like her as a person. This dude, I don't really think he even likes her. Because I think in his mind, he created, some fantasy female in his mind, and he exhausted all his desire on that female. And then when he saw Mindy, he was like disappointed. But that was his fault. All right. The second takeaway I got is his lack, both of those guys, Zach and Brandon, lack ability to respond appropriately in their relationships. I'm not going to go into no detail, but you already know how Brandon responds to any stress. He's a very neurotic individual, very neurotic, and he experiences anxiety rather quickly. He can't handle the stress of a crowd, a lot of people. I think he's highly introverted. I don't, and I just think that the anxiety and the stress of being around a lot of people, it really sets him back, and he can't deal. Now, Taylor's the exact opposite, and I don't understand why they didn't do any personality tests on. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they did. But I wouldn't have never put a person who seems to be an extrovert with someone who's definitely an introvert. But he's on the spectrum of introvert. He's way, way, way on the polar opposite side. He's totally good being by himself. All right. And then the last one would be the lack of ability to give care. Pretty much all that is it's a lack of ability of just showing kindness, just basic kindness, and being a balanced individual, but having some emotional stability about yourself and showing kindness. I mean, that's the problem with Zach. He's not even being kind. I mean, you're just gonna go to your place, feed your dogs, sit up here and talk about yourself like you're the victim. She's the one that's being mistreated and being abused in public, but you act like you're the victim. And that's the problem I have with Zach. That's the problem I have with Brandon. That these guys seem to be immune and deluded about their behavior, because even when you question Brandon, he gets a little attitude. It's like when you talking to him and he responds with that little attitude. First thing I want to say out of my mouth, I said, man, you need to put a little respect on that when you coming back at me. I don't want to hear all that. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. And that's the problem that I have with both these young guys, is because I don't really see no genuine kindness. I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not going to do that to a woman I don't know who I married. I'm going to be kind to her. I'm going to be gentle to her. I'm going to do things, even if I, in my mind, have made up my mind, I'm probably not going to. I don't know if that would have been something I would have did, because I can't say that she's unattractive. Because he hasn't really done anything. He hadn't really did anything, I'm sorry, to try to unfold the relationship. They haven't really discussed anything. Everything is about, he's been controlling the narrative. Everything has been about his feelings, and that's it. The whole thing has been about him. That's the problem I have. I don't think nothing's good obviously going to come of that. We obviously know they're not going to stay. They're not going to stick. It's just the way it is. But these are the things that I saw. I hope you guys, if you see anything that I haven't seen, please feel free to add them in the comments. And do me a great favor, subscribe, share, like, do all those great things you hear all the time. That helps me out. Help me grow my little channel. Help me to help women. Help me to help brothers. Got some more good information coming forward. But that's all I got. That's my time. I thank you for yours. Catch you on the other side. God bless you.